Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to ditch the outdated beliefs, release the blocks, and fully embrace your sovereignty so you can confidently expand to allow more love, joy, and aligned success in your life. I am Niajae, your conscious accountability partner, reminding you that abundance is your birthright. Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning into the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? If you're joining me for the first time, although M&Ms are really yummy candies, it actually stands for Magical Manifestors. This podcast is all about manifesting the life, the love, the health, the success of your dreams. And what I'm doing right now is doing a deep dive into the 7 main chakras. So if you don't know about chakras, I highly recommend you start with the Chakra 101 episode, which is episode number 60. And you can also check out Chakra Balancing, which is episode number 98. So definitely check those out first. Today, we are talking about Sacral Chakra. So I already done root chakra, which is the foundation. So if you didn't catch that episode, definitely check that one out too, which is episode number 114. And then after that, you will be all caught up. So before we dive into the sacral chakra, I do want you to know that I work with people directly on chakra balancing and maintaining energetic alignment. So if you have interest in any of my programs, I have a membership. I do one-time chakra balancing sessions. And then I also do 3-month-long coaching to balance and do a deep dive on all of your chakras and reprogram any subconscious blocks. So subconscious blocks are the things that are preventing us from living to our full potential, stepping into our sovereignty, and having that abundant life that we truly desire. So if you have interest in that, definitely reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Niajae. That's Niajae, or you can email me directly at contact@niajae.com, Niajae. All right, let's dive in. So the sacral chakra controls creativity, it controls our emotions, sensation, passion, and pleasure. So this one is going to get a little juicy. It governs our ability to interact with others and develop, nurture, and maintain healthy relationships. It provides discernment, such a powerful word, discernment to make the right choices to curb unhealthy behaviors. All right, so the element for the sacral chakra is water, and the color is orange. Now, if your chakra is underactive, that means that there's a block. There's a blockage. It's not getting enough energy. So if you have an underactive sacral chakra, that means that you are detached from your emotions, you're withdrawn, you're tense, you're rigid, you're judgmental, you're negative or too serious, you're lazy, you have a low libido, or a loss of imagination. So that obviously sounds like no fun. And that's one of the things that the sacral chakra is about. It's about fun. It's about being able to laugh and giggle. So obviously it's not my sacral chakra being underactive is obviously not a problem that I have. However, an overactive sacral chakra means that you have mood swings, overly emotional, you thrive on conflict and drama, and you have too many ideas. And the way this shows up is that shiny object syndrome. So for me, I'm probably more on the overactive side. And when a chakra is overactive, that means that it's getting too much energy. So I'm probably more on that side, and I have to like calm it down a little bit. So basically, the physical symptoms of an imbalance in your sacral chakra can look like kidney issues, urinary issues. So if you have common UTIs, that could be a indication of a imbalance in your sacral chakra. Like I said, low libido. So if you're finding that you don't have any type of desire for sex or intimacy, this is all in the sacral chakra. Digestive issues, so gut issues are all sacral and solar plexus chakras. So if you are someone who has digestive or gut issues, definitely look into sacral and solar plexus. They're next to each other. So it basically is intertwined, but it starts at that sacral chakra. And then reproductive issues. So if you are trying to conceive and you're having trouble, if anyone that's going through, what is it, IVF, anyone that's going through IVF in vitro, if you're going through that, you definitely want to focus on balancing your sacral chakra. Okay, so emotional symptoms of an imbalance looks like being scattered, emotionally unstable, engaging in self-sabotaging or high-risk behavior, sex or porn addiction, and excessive eating or drinking. So if you are someone who has an addictive personality, if you're addicted to porn, if you are extremely promiscuous, these are all things that sits in the sacral chakra. And I think that this stems from childhood in a sense of people who were condemned for their sexuality, sensuality. You know, as you're growing and you're developing as a woman or man, like if you're taught that like sex is bad, pleasure is bad, if you are taught like don't show certain parts of your body because that's not ladylike, and you know, like your mom never wanted to talk about sex, or she called your private parts something, you know, like an unmentionable. So if you're someone who's like not comfortable talking about sex, not comfortable saying the word vagina, or even, you know, there's women who don't agree with masturbation, for example, or sometimes there's men that don't agree with masturbation. If you're afraid to please yourself, then naturally you're going to have problems with pleasing others or others pleasing you. So this is all in the sacral chakra, really being able to be comfortable with your sensuality, your sexuality, your body parts, especially, you know, like your private parts. Like people are uncomfortable when it comes to these types of things. This all sits in the sacral chakra. And this show is for adults, so you know, we can talk about this. I will make sure I put the explicit on this podcast episode. But if you are someone who was taught that sex is bad, or pleasure is bad, or too much pleasure is bad, and obviously everything in moderation. So an overactive sacral chakra looks like someone who is overindulgent and don't know how to say, okay, this is enough. It's one thing to have one slice of cake, but eating a whole entire cake is a different story. So that's why I said the word discernment is so important when it comes to the sacral chakra. So I believe that sex is natural. I believe that pleasure is natural and we should receive and give pleasure. And I believe that we should be comfortable talking about sex, especially to our partners. If you're not comfortable talking about sex to your partners or your desires to your partner, that is issues in the sacral chakra. So, and you know, when it comes to talking about sex, even if it's something like we all have fantasies. We all have fantasies. If you don't have a fantasy, then again, this is all the sacral chakra. There's a blockage in the sacral chakra because we all have fantasies. Sometimes we lose sight of them. Sometimes we dismiss them because we think it's bad, we think it's naughty, we feel shameful. So, shame around sex, shame around your body, shame around your desires, that all sits in the sacral chakra. So, I think that having discernment and really tapping into remembering your desires, remembering your needs, remembering what pleases you, and being able to communicate that to your partner, for example, is really really important. So I personally feel like this is a really important chakra. And besides sex, when it comes to creativity, if you're an artist or entrepreneur of any kind, this is your motivation and creativity for any type of creativity. So if you're a writer, if you're creating content, if you're an artist of any kind, this is really important. So someone that has writer's block, for example, sits in the sacral chakra. So it's all about that emotion and that creativity and birthing new ideas and really being able to have that zest for life. I love saying that. I say it in my meditations all the time, like zest for life. It makes me really happy. The ability to be happy, to be able to allow joy and pleasure in. There's a lot of people that are really rigid and serious and they can't laugh, and completely detached from anything like joyful or pleasurable. And I know that a lot of entrepreneurs find themselves in this hole because they feel like they have to be really serious. I've been there before. I felt like for a really long time, I couldn't show my silly side because I didn't think people would take me seriously. But it's like, okay, you're taking yourself way too serious. And if you're not having fun, what is the point? And that's just kind of like one of my mottos. I think that life is meant to be enjoyed. We're meant to live a purpose and serve and step into our power and sovereignty and have fun while doing so. That's my belief. So anyway, I believe that the sacral chakra is all about moderation. Moderation. That is my word for the sacral chakra. Moderation. If you were looking for a sign, here it is. This is your reminder to not settle, to know your worth, and to follow your bliss. This is a reminder to maintain alignment and show up in your fullest expression. Abundant and Aligned Society is an accountability program to remind you that you are a powerful being and you deserve to live the life you truly desire. Go to niajae.com/society to join in on the magic because life is meant to be abundant. So, what does a balanced sacral chakra look like? It's someone who's energetic, joyful, passionate, has that zest for life. You remember I told you I love saying that zest for life. Someone who's sensual and comfortable with their sensuality and sexuality, and someone who's open and honest. So, how exactly do you balance your sacral chakra? So, all of the chakras can be balanced with meditation, yoga, movement, and of course, sound therapy. But specifically for the sacral chakra, you can connect with water. So if you remember, I said that the element is water. So going swimming, going to the beach, getting in the ocean, anything pertaining, going for like a boat ride. I live in Florida, so getting on a boat is pretty easy here. So anything, any way that you can connect with water. And then being creative. So if you have any type of artistic hobbies, or if you are an artist or entrepreneur where you creating, so doing something like painting, writing, dancing, singing, writing poetry, writing a new song, anything that can really tap into your creativity will help balance the sacral chakra. And then you could eat orange foods. So oranges, I'm sure there's like orange peppers. There's a lot of different orange foods, sweet potatoes, but an orange is high in vitamin C. So I highly recommend an orange, tangerine, clementine, any of those orange type things will be helpful. And I've actually been really drawn to the little tangerine things, clementines, tangerines. I really don't know the difference between the two. But anyway, I've been buying like bags of them, probably for my partner and not for me, but I like eating them as well. So it works. So, a really fun fact about balancing an overactive sacral chakra. I love this. So you can balance it by surrounding yourself with the opposite color, which is blue. And what's blue? Water. So it makes total sense. So if you have an overactive sacral chakra, going by the water, swimming, anything like that will help balance it out. So if your chakra is underactive, I would highly recommend doing stuff with the color orange. So eating oranges, being creative, connecting with your creative side. Pick up a creative hobby. Like, what is something that like gets the juices flowing? You know what I mean? You want to do that. And if you have an overactive chakra, which is, I feel like my chakra, my sacral chakra, like for the most part always tips to the overactive side and never to the underactive side. So it's usually more common for me to be overly emotional about something rather than disconnecting. And I used to disconnect a long time ago, but these days I'm more likely to be overactive. So the beauty in knowing yourself well enough to know, okay, I'm overreacting about this. I'm overthinking about this. I'm overindulging in ice cream. Like, well, ice cream is my thing. So if I can get a pint and I could eat half of it, that's moderation. If I get a pint and eat the whole entire pint, then I'm like, okay, what am I feeling right now to where like I'm like eating a lot of ice cream? Like being able to eat one slice of cake and not eat the whole cake, being able to have a glass or two of wine rather than a whole bottle of wine. It's moderation, it's discernment. It's saying, like, okay, it's not a bad thing to indulge in the things that we desire, but overindulging is a problem. So, moderation, discernment, and discipline. So, discipline is actually something that bleeds over into the solar plexus, which we're going to talk about next. But the sacral chakra and the solar plexus are so intertwined. If your sacral chakra is thrown off, it's going to throw off your solar plexus. So really getting this under control first, and then it will positively affect your solar plexus, which we'll talk about next. So let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any feedback. Wherever you're tuning in from, screenshot on Instagram and tag me so I can share the love. And let me know if you have any questions of any of the future chakras so I can know some of the things to touch on. I hope you see the value in maintaining balance in your chakras. It's so important having that awareness, because everything is impacted by our energy. So, like I said in the past, it would be amazing if we can balance our chakras one time and then poof, they're balanced forever. But that's not how it works. Just like you brush your teeth, you have to focus on energetic self-care, energetic alignment, and everything in your life is going to be impacted by it. So your relationships, your business, your health, everything is impacted by it. So I hope you find value in this. And until next time, be decadent. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.